You guys, Storm Wrench's garage here. Tom.
Okay.
We did that again.
Two. Cut.
Hey guys, Storm Wrench's garage. Tom here.
And Declan.
And it's the day we've all been waiting for. I think the day you guys have all been waiting for. Yeah. The day we do actual work on this car instead of just sort of like picking at it and prolonging the inevitable. We are actually going ahead and pulling the motor out of the Camaro today. And with any amount of luck, we'll get it pulled in time that we can actually bring this thing out into the driveway too and sort of power wash it. And my crazy dream is that we actually get it out, power wash it, and still have time to take the pan off, just so that we can see if everything falls out when we take the pan off, to see how bad the bearings are in that. We've already filmed a bunch of footage already this morning. We had a lot of little odds and ends to take care of to get this car ready to pull. You guys have seen the previous 2 episodes where we took off all the accessories, and we took off the radiator, and we took off the front bumper cover. And today, my friend Mike is helping us. He's a little bit camera shy. He didn't want to be a part of this piece, and he curses a lot like a drunken sailor with Tourette's. So we're not going to have him mic'd up because we only actually have 2 mics. The kid only works with 2 mics. But you'll hear him and you'll see him, so just know he's invited. He's not just a stranger or a weirdo. Well, he is a weirdo, but he's not just a strange weirdo that came in off the street. We actually invited him into this thing, and he's only getting paid with pizza. He doesn't know that yet. We, this morning, we went ahead and removed the drive shaft. We've disconnected just about everything we could see. All 3 of us have sort of crawled over this thing to make sure that we've got every wire disconnected. We dropped the oil that was still in the engine. That oil that only, what did we run it for, like 10 minutes with that oil in it? It's like nothing. And we've loosened up the crossmember bolts, so that's actually one of the next steps we have to do is to make sure that we remove the crossmember so that the transmission is free. And now we're going to start loosening up those motor mount bolts. And, well, first, we're going to get the crane hooked up so that we can take some weight off the motor and then hit those bolts. So stay tuned. That's the next stuff you'll be watching here. You'll show you a little bit of footage of our prep work first, and then we're going to get into the meat and potatoes of this pull.
And try not to flop. That floor pan's in great shape.
I know, right? The underside of this thing is in real. I mean, the stuff that's rusty.
Yeah, where they banged it up, it's some rust in there, which kind of makes sense. They banged it up and broke the coating.
But I mean, from what I've seen, most of the stuff that's rusted under there is replaceable stuff.
Yep.
Right? Not weldable stuff.
And floor pan's there.
They're like immaculate.
Little surface dust on the coat. Not good. So whenever you have that ratchet, you can swing back in here and show you where the other one is. By the way, Tom.
Yeah.
Telling someone else's kid how to do this is so much easier than telling your own.
It's funny. I was just thinking the same thing.
Go in the other side like you were. Yeah, you don't want to come on this. You have to do it left-handed.
And I'm guessing, Declan, it's better on your end too, right? Like I'm not barking at you. Somebody else is telling you what's going on.
It's also not my car or my investment.
Right.
It's easier.
So we still need now to disconnect the transmission from the linkage. And
there'll probably be a couple electronic connectors.
I pulled out a few already. I tried to check to see if everything's pulled out. I think it is.
Linkage.
And then we're going to have to cross-member bolts.
And hold it up. Just put something underneath it so it doesn't go. And motor mounts. The motor mounts you can get an impact on.
So it's in neutral now. Why don't we do this? Why don't we do...
Park. So stuff doesn't move around.
Sorry, it's in park now.
Perfect.
Sorry. It's in park. Not that that's going to do anything for the wheels, but the drive shaft.
Well, wheels are in the air anyway.
Yeah.
I just thought of this. We got to get the back end down. And then we're gonna have to get the front end down at some point.
Yep.
Because we're gonna have to, okay, so, yeah, underneath cross member,
Yeah.
shifter linkage, and any electronics. That's all that should be there.
Okay.
Is there a trans cooler?
I didn't see a separate trans cooler. I mean, there's
Oh,
the
you pulled the
condenser for the
radiator
radiator.
out.
No, it was in the radiator. Right, it's in the radiator.
So the trans cooler lines somewhere.
They're off, but they're just, it's
on
all,
that end.
it's all, well, they were over here.
No. They're attached to the transmission. We don't want to pull the transmission with the line still attached on this end.
Oh, okay, so yeah, we should pull those.
On that end, and that's going to dribble. I don't think it'll be bad, but it's definitely going to dribble.
Okay.
Yeah, trans cooler attachment points.
I'm also going to see if I can get the exhaust off from the manifold.
Yeah, might as well try.
I'll give it a shot. It's either that or so. I'll give it a shot with the impact on, and if that,
It would be easier because the way it swings forward than trying to cut it as high as possible.
yeah. So let me see if I can do that. Separated.
Thought that was the noise, but I wasn't going to get optimistic.
Yep, that's it. Whew.
With a stretch.
That was easy.
All right, so we're it's simple, really. And it's as easy as that.
And time lapse, and we're done.
All bark, no bite.
My whole thing is we got to take a little bit of the weight off the motor so we can pull the bolts on the engine mounts.
All right, so get it down, move it.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, wait. Once it's down, can we get at the cross member?
That's what I'm wondering. Although we can always jack it back up again on the front. We don't have to do the front, right?
True. So, yeah, because here's part of the problem. I don't want to move it with that missing because chances are
I think it'll just drop. Well, it's not going to.
it could, depending on how beat up those motor mounts are.
They tend to be pretty bad.
Yeah,
But
that's why I'm thinking. So let's put the car down, move it to wherever we're going to move it, and then go from there.
So what we're doing right now is we're making sure that we get the lifting bracket and the chains hooked up to the motor. So we found some decent lift points on the front where the studs were for the pulley assembly mounts. and on the back there's actually a lift mount, and then we're going through one of the manifold bolts for the other. So we got 4 points. We do have a leveling harness, which, fingers crossed, makes this a little bit of an easier job, but we're getting close. And the rain's picking up, which is awesome because we're doing this half outside. That's what everybody wants, is a little rain. Alright, so we're going to let this down. Oh, you want to chalk the wheels?
Already did on this. Oh, yeah. That didn't work.
We usually like to chalk the ones that stay on the ground. They work better that way.
I learned to do it.
Let's pause and order food. Yeah?
Okay.
We'll do Who's What's It's? Pizza Chef?
Wonderful. Okay.
You good with that?
Yeah. Who's he? What's it?
Yeah, you know Who's What's It's. They're right next to whatchamacallits.
Oh.
Down the street from what's their name?
Place with the food that you order from.
All right, so minor break in the action as we clean up a little bit here. It seems like these cuts are always me wiping my hands with a tub of towels, but we are reaching a little bit of a, it's not an impasse, another step that needs to be done. We just tried to remove the cross member and realized we have to remove a suspension component from the tail shaft. I actually don't know what that component's called. It's like a ladder bar. It's going from the transmission all the way back to the diff. But we're going to look that up and figure out exactly how to remove that bracket so that we can get everything free and clear to enable us to actually pull this out, because we are planning to pull the motor and the transmission together so we don't have to mess with bell housing bolts until this thing is out. So that's the next step. So we're going to order some food, Google some stuff, and then hopefully we'll come back in a little bit like way smarter and we'll just take this out. Why are these 3 feet long?
Again, how can it? Looks like it moves less than. So the reason we're taking the cap off is That's the closest when we go to tip the motor. It's going to hit right there.
Yeah, because this is going to have to come up at an angle to come out.
And because it's plastic, turned itself off, it looks like.
Yeah. It wasn't even recording.
Yeah, the display was.
I think. There you go.
There we go. Yeah.
Dang.
How's that not? So see how much more room we have now?
Yeah.
Although here's the only problem.
Let's see that.
That's as tight as we get. Basically, we're going to pick up the motor a little bit,
Yeah.
loop, and then try and get it.
Yeah.
So basically get it off the engine mounts. See the connector? Yeah, the connector for the distributors. Down?
Yeah. Okay, good. All right.
That has tension, right?
Yeah, looks like it does.
Hold on. Are we over it, or are we at an angle? I'm bringing in the.
Oh, hold on. We're catching. Go it down a little. Oh, actually, let's see. No, that's not gonna.
Hold on. Hold on. Whoa.
I think you came up too tight on those chains.
Okay.
Or we have to just put it in a hole back. Go a couple holes back. Alright, let's see if that works now. That should clear.
So the problem here is it's
Not your clear.
now it's tipped. So yeah, bring it towards the back so it shifts. Yeah, keep going.
Let's definitely free the bolt, the mount. I can feel it moving.
Yeah, the whole car is coming up with it. Yeah, they move. So when you move it, it moves up and then back down. That's all I'm worried about. Like, see how much we. I think they need to be broken 3 more. Or do we have to take all 4 of the bolts out of frame and put the whole motor mount on? Oh, the springs, Steve. Hold on.
Yeah, the springs are pulling up.
Getting lighter.
Yeah.
The car is getting lighter.
Yep.
So watch that back connector. Declan, if you look back here, see this back connector? We don't want any of that to hit the firewall. So eyeball there and make sure that we don't shift it. Don't put your hand in.
Yeah, definitely don't put your hand anywhere in there.
Okay, so
Something's getting caught.
the what?
This is like getting caught.
Yeah, this hose is free. Don't worry
the
about
hose
that.
is free.
Oh, okay.
So this motor mount is not moving. This one's completely free. I just didn't know. So my guess is that we're a little lopsided.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, this just got a lot harder. I'm guessing we're trying to tip the whole.
There we go.
Yeah, that looked like it did something.
That's way up. How's this one? That's way up
Yeah,
too.
that's way up more than.
Okay.
So, oh, I know why. We're tipping the motor like this. We have to tip it the other way. Doesn't look like we're free on that side.
Oh no, we're free. We're clear. I mean, you got to go up a little bit higher to clear the dog ear.
We got to be real careful. We're not going to break something.
Do you want to try to pull back a little?
Yeah. Well, can't pull back because of that dog here.
Well, let me see.
Actually, yeah, you pry it up and I'll... You tell me when to yank.
Go ahead and yank. Come on.
Something's on the ground.
No, so Declan, if you look up here where the motor mount is, so see how this one's nice and high? See how it's free? Come look on this side. Look on the back of it. We're stuck by that little piece of metal.
Can we
Piece of wood?
can we go up a skosh higher?
I don't think so, but let's try.
Never mind. It's not
It
gonna
feels
do
like I'm
anything
putting
here.
tension on something.
Never mind. All right, now we're clear of it because you pulled it enough so that it's sitting on top of it.
Sitting on it. Okay, so hold on. No, let's check what we have. Now we're coming back for more tilting. Because now see that,
Oh, yeah, there's a sag there.
yeah, that's it. That felt like it's about as far back as it can get.
Yep.
So hold on. Now we can go up. Are we touching anything on your the dryer or evaporator, whatever, the AC part? Are we hitting anything around that edge?
You're bumping these manifold tubes, but I can kind of keep the pressure over here. Ah, yes. Okay, I can see it, Mike.
What is it?
There's I don't know what it is. There's a canister under here. Come over and look, and it'll make sense. See it?
Oh, I don't even know what that is, but we're by it now, right?
No, it's hitting the cross member now. Oh, hold on. That's the exhaust tube.
Oh yeah, that's obvious what it is once you say that.
Yeah. So it's needs another like 3/4 of an inch in height to clear.
So I need to jack it up more?
Yeah.
Hold on.
Oh, that was a big move.
Okay, get out from underneath it.
It's just hanging on now.
Oh.
Hang on, hang on. Yeah. You go a little higher?
Yeah.
Oh, there it is.
There we go.
There it is.
One solid. Yeah, nice. So we got to tip it. Next goal is to get this up to here. So see what we're going to try and do is angle it.
Yeah.
And then while your dad's doing that, hold on. I think it might be two.
Two angled.
Well, no. Well, let's pull it back a tiny bit. Declan, around the rear, look to see if we're attached or hitting anything. I'm not going to move it. Just look for electrical connectors or wires.
Hang on a sec.
Oh, this we need to come on.
Actually, yeah, because it shifted quite a bit.
Oh yeah, that was the thing holding it up for sure.
Hold on. Get this out of the way.
So we got to get this up a couple inches to clear that pulley.
We're going to tilt it some more and then bring it up and then bring it across. Oh, so now we'll bring it up.
Now you can bring it up. Yep, you're good. Less resistance on it now.
It feels heavy, but it's
Well, it should feel heavy. You got the entire weight of it now.
Did you take the thing off? Or no?
Which thing? No.
Hold on, let it float for a second. There you go.
And this is all I could find. Okay.
Yeah, these aren't the best, but we'll make it do.
There you go. Good catch though on that. Because otherwise,
And then you should stay with the car.
clear everything out of there.
Yep, I forgot to take that off. I knew I needed to, but I missed it.
What did you do with that?
So see this harness? It's attached somehow. Hold on. Hold on. I'm gonna bring it up.
Yeah, you got room to bring it up before we start tearing it. So.
Move the pan. We're leaking fluid everywhere.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Just slide the pan forward.
All right.
Okay. So as I pull it out, are we hitting anything?
Not on my side. Anything on your side we're hitting,
We go
Declan?
up. We can go up a tiny bit, right?
Yep.
In the back.
Yes.
Gonna hit
You got many inches before the
Perfect.
2 inches.
Okay, hold on. Remember we talked about?
Oh shit! Yeah. Hold on.
You can come from this side. Crank this that way. This should start moving backwards,
That
right?
way?
Yeah, you probably want to brace one hand here so that you're, and just keep turning it.
Well, it's heavy.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of
Put some
resistance.
torque in it.
There you go.
Doesn't want to move. Which way is it moving? Are we moving it towards the back?
I think so.
Yeah. So I'm gonna out more.
Yeah. Oh, might have to go up a little.
Yep. How are we looking in the back?
Good.
I'm gonna go all the way there.
Okay, I think we might have to angle more.
Actually, you know what? You're gonna have to drop the tail shaft more.
You think?
Yeah, because we're still hitting the hump.
Yeah.
We're actually gonna, we gotta go back.
Well, it wants to go back, so that's
Yeah,
easy.
that's. Okay, hold on. Let me
This
see
thing-
what we can get for height, because the problem is,
We're
This
gonna
thing
run
was
out of it
shaped
soon.
weird.
yeah, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna push the car forward 8 inches. So here's what I want. Yeah, you get with your dad.
Okay.
You're gonna move the car real slow, and I'll pull the engine at the same time. I'm sure this is on film, because this might get
Oh, yeah.
funny very quickly.
Okay,
hold on. Okay, a little bit more. Yep. 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 A little bit more. Okay, stop. Whoa. Stop.
We did stop. Hold on. Hold on. Let me chock the wheels.
Yeah.
Because that's the only way we're going to get it to actually stop.
Tray. Push the tray forward. Very forward. Yep.
Yeah, that's good.
You're going to have to push it as far forward as you can, because
Yep.
we're going to be moving the motor. Okay, so now the problem is,
I need it down more, right? Angle down here. There,
There
whoa, hey!
there we go. That was hung up a little bit.
Not hung up anymore. We're free. Freedom!
Now we have height, hopefully.
Yep. All right, now that we're against the firewall now. A little bit more, you can clear that oil pan.
Yep, straighten it out. That's what I'm going to watch.
Touch more. Oh,
Yep, a little bit more. Yeah.
yeah, the beast is loose.
Why is it
Tip a
shaped
little
like
bit more
that?
before we go up higher, which one?
I'll tip it a little bit more. Although now we're running into that
What?
problem with the chain.
That's okay, we're high enough, right?
Yeah. Keep going, I'll keep this steady. A little bit more.
Yeah, I'm running out of energy here.
Alright,
Okay.
now we gotta figure out what to do with
Turn
this trans. It's out! The engine is out. Mike unfortunately had to run away. He's got other appointments he's got to attend to today, so we really just managed to get this out of the car. And that's it for now. It's still got the tranny attached, so we've still got to go through the process of taking that transmission off. Actually, we got to find a place where we're going to put it, right? So I'm going to have to get like a dolly so that we can drop the transmission onto the dolly and move the transmission around and get it hidden and all that jazz. But it came out. Super, super big help to Mike, so thank you to him for helping us out on this one, because honestly, it would not have gone this smooth and this quick without his help. Also, it helps to have another set of eyeballs.
Yeah.
Because we were all sort of seeing things that somebody else missed. And that's the big thing, right? So taking this out, taking any engine out, especially if it's in a car that you're not like 100% familiar with, there's going to be a million lines and wires and tubes, and you think you got them all until something's hanging up and you can't move the engine and you can't figure out why. So it was a huge help, not just to have the manpower, but to have his brain power and an extra set of eyes to figure this out. Overall, I didn't really think this was too bad to pull. What did you think, Declan?
I mean, I don't really have any experience with this, but it didn't seem too bad.
Yeah, it wasn't awful. I mean, we started at in earnest about 10. Probably, or 9:30, and we stopped for lunch for about a half an hour, and it's now almost 3 o'clock. So we're probably, in truth, about under 5 hours to get this thing pulled and yanked and sitting here. We've still got a fair amount of cleaning to do. I've got some more kitty litter to buy to clean up all the ATF that we've spilled all over the floors. But it's out. All right, so we're back in here for day 2. Pulled the motor yesterday. Ta-da! There it hangs. Found some interesting stuff. It actually had a block heater option. So I was underneath the car disconnecting stuff and found what looked like a home extension cord, and I was like, what in the hillbilly hell is this? And then once we got it out, it looked too professional because it had a heat shrink around it. So I figured it was probably a block heater, and that looks like what it was. So she's out now. Just spent a little time sort of sweeping up and throwing down more kitty litter. We ran out of that yesterday. So now, short mission today to wrap this up. So we're going to detach the transmission from the engine block.
So how does that come off?
Okay, it's a good question. We're going to take off this inspection plate first. You feel this little plastic piece? There's a few bolts around here. That's an inspection cover. So that's covering the flywheel and torque converter, which we'll see when we're under there. The torque converter is attached to the transmission, right? And that is physically attached to the flywheel. The flywheel is a big tooth gear that the starter actually uses to start the motor, and it's actually attached to the crank. Okay. So that's spinning constantly while the engine is running. The torque converter is the magic of an automatic transmission. So it's a big canister that has like finned vanes and like fans basically inside of it, and transmission fluid. And it uses the force of that fluid and those fans and centrifugal force to shift gears and to detach the engine from the transmission when you're sitting at idle.
Okay.
I can't explain that fully. Because quite frankly, to a certain extent, some of it's black magic to me. I get it, but I could not build one or diagnose one. So if you guys are curious about what it is, you can do the same thing that I'm going to advise Declan to do. Google it. There are videos out there where you can see how it works, but it can be tricky it's tricky for me to explain anyway exactly how it works. So there should be, I think, about 3 bolts holding that torque converter to this flywheel, might be 4. So we need to detach those bolts. So take off the inspection cover, detach those bolts, and then once that's done, we just have these bolts along the bell housing that we have to remove, and then we should be able to pry these two things apart, and we're done.
And how heavy is that?
I don't know how heavy this transmission is. I mean, an automatic transmission might be up to 400 pounds.
So...
Well, you're just going to hold it. You're strong. No, I actually got a dolly, like a furniture dolly that's rated for 1,000 pounds. So once we separate the flywheel from the torque converter and remove those bolts, we'll lower this whole thing down until this is sitting on that furniture dolly, and then we'll run a strap over it to make sure it doesn't roll, and then we'll undo the bolts. And then we'll lift the engine back up, and we'll set the engine on its stand. We can fold this thing up and put it away, and start organizing stuff.
So how much is this?
The engine? I mean, we could look it up. My guess is somewhere in the neighborhood of 600 pounds.
It's big.
Right? So, I mean, this is probably holding up close to 1,000 pounds now. Maybe not quite that heavy because this isn't that big a motor, but yeah, something like that.
How much is yours?
Well, my engine is a small block, just like this one. So slightly different transmission, but I can't imagine that it's a ton different weight-wise. So they're both probably very similar.
Oh, there's a bunch of nuts everywhere.
And we'll get to looking at codes and stuff on your engine later, but you can see the castings on the block here.
Is there a way to clean an engine?
Yes. So if we get time to do that today, like if this goes swimmingly fast and there's no problems with it, then I would actually like to break out the power washer and power wash the engine compartment on the car itself, and also power wash this and
So
this.
you can do that?
Yes.
Like,
We'll take some precautions to make sure that we stuff some things inside the intake. Because we're going to take this whole motor apart,
right.
we're a little bit less concerned. But generally, you do want to make sure that you sort of cover up a lot of electrical connections, that you cover up the intakes, because you don't want a lot of water going into the engine. Mm-hmm. We're going to take this thing apart pretty briskly, so it's not as much of a concern, but I'll still stuff some rags in there to make sure that we don't like hose water in there.
Yeah.
But we'll have to get some engine cleaner.
Okay.
So there's a foaming engine cleaner you can just put on this, let it sit, and then we'll be able to rinse it off, and we should be good. We are definitely going to need a new distributor. That is gross. It's all rusted. All right, so let's get crack-a-lacking. We'll do the inspection cover first, which I'm going to guess is probably 10 millimeter bolts, like everything. So it's all the bolts on this little plastic piece.
Yeah. That?
Yep.
I don't want to like undo something and then like falls and
Oh no, that's not going to happen.
breaks my femur.
There's not going to be like one thing that you do that comes loose.
Right, one thing shouldn't be holding this together. There's stuff under there. I don't know if that's part of it.
What can you see that? Is it going through the plastic?
Yeah.
If it's going through that plastic, then it needs to come off.
Actually, no, it's not.
Okay.
Really. It's going through that pan.
You might need to crank on it like a regular ratchet until it comes loose. So I guess there was one tight one. Is that it?
Okay.
See if it'll come off.
Oh, there's stuff in the way, so.
Oh, the transmission coolant lines. Let's take a look at those.
I feel like you've cut those things like 15 different times.
Yeah, at the other end. So those, let's take those off. They need to come off. So you put it on over the tubing side and then slide it over the nut.
Rub the rust.
You just have to rotate it a little. There you go.
Oh my god. Okay, wait. Okay.
You want the, go grab the persuader. The iron tube.
This?
Yes.
Oh, do you want me to hit it?
No, slide it over the handle of the wrench.
Oh.
This is for leverage. No, this is not a, like, this isn't like a dad thing. This is very standard. You slid off. Wow.
Did I?
Slide off of it completely. Alright, now put it over. See if we get more leverage this way. Did you get it? Yeah. Yeah, you got it. So now you should be able to...
Science rule.
Mm-hmm. See? Pay attention in your physics class. You see this big rusty canister here?
Mm-hmm.
That's your torque converter. Okay? And if you follow the torque converter, there's going to be these little feet on it that sort of touch the flywheel. And then there should be a nut right near it. You see it?
Yeah.
When one of those becomes like accessible, you tell me, because I'll stop turning this.
Okay. Accessible. Probably. Yeah, definitely.
Good? Okay. I'm going to hold this so it doesn't turn the engine as you try to break it loose.
Didn't hit my face.
No, it's not going to hit your face.
Oh. It's moving the thing.
Yeah, keep going because I'm holding this so it won't move too much.
Well, it's moving, so.
Try the persuader. You got that?
Shouldn't you try to persuade?
Well, do you want to hold this?
Well,
This is holding the engine back from turning. That's what's happening.
the thing that is turning is the cog thing.
Yes. So that's the flywheel. And remember how I told you that it's attached to the crankshaft, the center, the rotating mass of the engine?
Yep.
So pay attention for a sec.
I'm trying to.
Just lay that down. Hold on a second. I'm just trying to explain to you. Just slow down. We're not in a hurry. Okay? You take a beat?
It's because I try to turn this and it won't turn because this is in the way and it hits that, so this doesn't turn at all.
Okay, so you're saying the oil filter is in the way of this turning. That's the
Yeah.
problem?
Well, but if you take off the oil filter, then this will just turn more.
The flywheel will turn more?
Yeah.
The flywheel's going to turn if I'm not on this. So now how is it going to be?
But because I am turning this, it's going to turn the wheel.
Right, and what I'm doing by holding this, because this is the other end of the crankshaft that I'm holding, so it's going to flex a little bit until I can stop it because the whole engine's turning, but it should hold. But you might want to use the pipe because I had a hard time.
Well, how's the pipe going to, like, take this off and then do it?
Yeah, I would probably, hold on, I can flip the switch and then come out to here. Right, and now you can put the pipe on. Do you need more room? Yeah, a little bit more room. There you go. All right, move that off a sec.
Like that Rubik's.
Hold on, let me get this better on here. trying to do 3 things at once. All right, so as you pull up, I'm going to be pushing down.
Okay.
So go ahead. Did it go?
Yeah.
Felt like it did. Okay, now you should be able to slide the pipe off and just do it with the ratchet.
Yeah.
All right, so is that all the bolts?
Yeah, I think so.
Let's double check.
What was all those ones?
Oh yeah, you can tell because the flywheel's spinning and the torque converter's not. So that is now officially separated. We need the shock of the metal on metal, I think. Here we go.
Casualties listed.
So there's dowel pins in here. You're going to see them. That's what helps you mount this. That's what it gets hung up on. It's these. Looks like, oh good, we might be able to weld onto this stud and back that out then. Shouldn't be that bad. All right, separated. And for those of you who were confidently claiming cracked flywheel, nope, flywheel is intact. Does not look cracked to me. I mean, we're definitely going to replace that when we put this back together, but I think it's okay. So, all right, engine and trans separated. Trans is now on its own little dolly, so we can get that out of the way and give that a home. And then next step is to get this engine onto the stand. Yeah, unleash it. Unleash it. Like just
lower.
Yes, sorry.
Freedom?
Freedom. That was tricky. Tricky.
No.
I was not anticipating that.
That was easy.
Right. Cakewalk. All right. Well, that about covers it for day 2. Kind of more than I thought we were actually going to get done this weekend. I'm gonna be honest. You too? I was kind of shocked how easily yesterday went with the poll. That's a huge thanks to Mike. That was, I think without him, it would have taken us all weekend to get to the place we were at yesterday.
And we would have gotten things wrong.
Oh yeah, and we would have hated each other by the end of it because you know we haven't done this together. So Mike's got a little bit more experience with doing that, and it was a big help when it came to yesterday. And today, you know, that I knew that separating the transmission and the engine should only take a short amount of time.
Yeah.
But you know, you're always fearing the nightmare scenario. We didn't really get the nightmare, but it was a little tricky.
Yeah, definitely.
You did a good job though, plugging away at it, hitting it with the chisels and the pry bar to get it to go, and yeah, it worked. So now we've got those things separated. The engine's sitting on a stand behind the Camaro. The Camaro's sitting real high right now with no weight in the front, but the good news, it also makes it really easy to push in and out of the garage and easy to steer because there's no weight on the nose. So I think what have we got left to do? We've got to clean it,
Yeah.
like the engine, the trans, and the inside of the engine compartment. And then we can touch up paint in here, make this look nice and pretty. I think that's going to be one of our focuses. We talked about this the other day, that we're in New England. And right now, we're on September 22nd. And it's a beautiful day. It's like 60-something degrees. It's sunny. It's breezy.
Winter's coming.
Yeah. So I think what we're going to try to do is take advantage of these nice days when we have them. I think we're both out of gas today, and we've got other things we're going to do. So we won't be doing anything further with it today, but I think the next stroke is going to be to get everything cleaned and power washed, at least, so that we can do that while the weather's still decent and holding up. And then we'll start tearing into the motor once we get the outside of it clean enough that we're not going to turn into pig pens just by touching it.
Yeah.
So looking forward to that. That stuff comes next. So stay tuned. I don't know what's going to be on for next weekend. It's a crapshoot, right?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we'll decide probably this week what
Yeah,
we're
we'll
going to be doing. It'll be a surprise to us and to you. Everybody will be surprised. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. Please remember to hit the subscribe button and the like button. Those are great helps to us. And we'll see you next time on Throwing Wrenches.